Premier League is often won and lost when the biggest teams come up against each other. Today is no exception, as we are going to face off in a top of the table clash against Liverpool that could decide the Premier League title. We will also play against Brentford as we look to inch closer to winning our first Premier League. Welcome back to another episode of Leeds United, Pride of Yorkshire. So, episodes don't get much bigger than this one. As you can see by the Premier League table to the left-hand side of the screen, we are locked in a title battle with Liverpool. We are joint on points with Manchester United just behind. And today, we are going to get the chance to extend a lead or lose a lead at the top of the Premier League. So nothing really has happened in terms of the schedule since the last game. You can see that 2-1 FA Cup semi-final defeat to Manchester United is there. We put up a good fight, but really on the day they were clinical and we weren't. So that rolls us in nicely to today's episode, and we are going to be facing off, as I said, in that top of the table clash against Liverpool before we play against Brentford. The Premier League schedule in this game is a little bit bonkers. So we have 2 games in 3 days, which probably wouldn't wash in real life. We play on the Tuesday night against Liverpool and then play on a Friday night against Brentford, which is a little bit mad, before then playing again on the Monday night. So Easter schedule, if that's what that is absolutely madness. But it's 3 games we have in 6 days where we need to get maximum points to win a Premier League. So let's not waste any time. Let's show you what's been happening and the lineup that we're going to be facing Liverpool with. Okay, so with the run of games that is coming thick and fast, we are getting injuries left, right and centre. And today's team lineup may look like a bit of a hodgepodge because we need to fill gaps, which is not the best thing that you are looking for when you are going into a top of the table clash. So the lineup is going to be Meslier in goal. We've got Woba, Llorente, Konate and Manea. We've got Thiago and Phillips in the midfield. Brandt, Bentancur and Rafinha are playing as the attacking 3, with Thomas up front. Benjamin Šeško getting an injury at the worst time possible. Luckily, it's not a big one. It's probably one that's going to keep him out of today's game and maybe the Brentford game. Hopefully, he'll be back for the Arsenal game on the Monday night. But it is a big, big blow to our title chances. However, we can only put the team out that we have available to us, and hopefully they are going to continue the ball rolling and get 3 points in this critical top of the table game. First chance then is going to be a throw-in for us as Woba plays it to Bentancur, who gives it back to Woba. He's running forwards. He's thinking he's a winger and he should be a left back, but he then gives the ball away, and Liverpool are now taking their time at the back and building up through Fabinho and Keita. They play the ball to Matip and then out to Henderson. Mo Salah is going to be running at us here, which isn't great when your defenders just part like the Red Sea. But he plays the ball to Alexander-Arnold, who crosses it in. And luckily for us, Mane has a header that goes over the bar. Liverpool building out from the back then. Wow, it looked like that. Looks like Becker is now going to kick it long, but he doesn't. He plays it to Matip. Knocks it to Van Dijk, who uncharacteristically gives the ball to Bentancur. He takes one touch, smashes it left-footed into the bottom corner. And that is the start that we wanted. Big Verge making big mistakes in this one. As Matip rolls the ball into his path, he tries to find Fabinho, who gets cut out by Bentancur, and left-footed gives us a 1-0 lead in this vital top of the table clash. Free kick then as Salah swings the ball in. Van Dijk looking to make up for his earlier error. Big header at the back post, and Big Verge makes it 1-1. Nothing you can do about this really. The free kick is precision. And Van Dijk just gets up above Konate, I think it is, as he heads in at the back post, and the score is 1-1. Since the Van Dijk equaliser, Liverpool have pushed forwards, but we have the corner. Rafinha swings it in, Konate with a header that goes just over the bar. Throw in here as Manea goes long, but throws it straight into the gloves of Becker, which isn't the best thing considering we had committed men forwards. Let's see what Liverpool tried to do with the ball here. Becker kicks it long, going over the top. Haaland is in behind as Llorente misjudges the ball, and think that Meslier had to get fingertips to that. Indeed, he did. It's a corner kick. And let's see what Liverpool can do with this. Last time that Mo Salah swung across in, Van Dijk was there to head it in. This time he only finds the head of Woba and he clears it away. Rafinha gets in a foot race with Henderson, but luckily for us, it comes to nothing. Corner kick then from the other side, and Salah swings this one in. Van Dijk's there again with the header, headers it into the path of Haaland, who headers it straight into the hands of Meslier. And luckily for us, that is half time, and we are going to come in at 1-1. So a bit of a topsy-turvy game because we took the lead and looked like we were going to be on top, but Liverpool came roaring back. They were really on top when they equalised, and then they had that chance just before half time. So no real need to make any changes at the break. We're going to push it on into the second half and make some changes probably in the second half to try and change something around. But for the moment, everything is as it is, and we are just going to go into the second half. Corner kick then, and Bentancur, who's picked up an injury, swings it in. He tries to find Konate. I'm not too sure what happened here. Alisson seemed to lose the ball. He's fallen into the path of Thiago Thomas, and he has scored his 10th goal of the season to give us a 2-1 lead. Let's have a little look at this in the replay. So Bentancur swings it in. Alisson tries to punch it, drops straight onto the foot of Thomas, and he puts us back into a 2-1 lead. But straight from kickoff, Liverpool are going to come straight back at us, it looks. Virgil van Dijk plays it out to Cole Walker-Peters, plays it forwards to Mane. He's going to try and beat Mane up the line and does so. Cuts towards the box and then goes towards the line, crosses it in, and Erling Haaland with the header that goes just over the bar to keep our 2-1 lead. So in this break of play, I am going to quickly I'm going to put Esposito on in place of Ricky Puig, and I'm also going to bring on Karim Adeyemi in place of Rafinha, just to give us some fresh legs up top. Manea and Konate are both struggling as well. So I'm going to bring Firpo on for Konate and swap Konate and Woba over and see if we can get through to the end of the game with our lead intact. Free kick for Liverpool as Mo Salah swings the ball into the box. Haaland with another header, but Meslier is there with the firm grip of the gloves to catch the ball and keep it at 2-1. And he's going to look now to launch us on an attack. He smashes it forward, but Liverpool deal with that easily and they're knocking it about in the middle. Haaland back to Fabinho, plays to Henderson. He's got options ahead of him as Mo Salah plays the ball over the top into the path of Mane, who hits the ball straight at Meslier. We are riding our luck a little bit here. I'm going to try and play it out from the back as well as Brandt finds Esposito. Tries to find Phillips, but only plays it to Haaland. Mane plays it into the path of Haaland, and Meslier pushes the ball around for a corner. If Meslier doesn't get man of the match in this game, there is something wrong, because at the moment, he's the only one keeping us in it. As Mo Salah swings a corner in, Haaland goes to head the ball. Woba gets it clear. Mane gets it out on the left-hand side now. Plays it inside to Van Dijk. And luckily for us, it comes to nothing. But there's a throw-in straight away with Walker-Peters. Plays it to Keita. Plays it to Henderson. Back to Van Dijk, who plays it out to Walker-Peters. Liverpool trying the patient build-up game as usual. And as Henderson plays it into the path of Haaland, he plays it out to Walker-Peters. What are they going to try here? They get it into the path of Haaland, who has a shot. And Meslier again with the save. Try to get it clear, and then the ball comes back across. Headed forwards by Alexander-Arnold, and it's out for a goal kick. Luckily for us, that's the full-time whistle. That chance was the last one of the game. The last 10-15 minutes just petered out with not a lot happening. And I am glad to say that we have 3 points in the bag. And that means we now have a 3-point lead over Liverpool at the top of the Premier League, having played a game less. So what a fantastic performance there, certainly from Meslier. Yeah, he got an 8.0 rating. It probably deserves a 9 because he just absolutely kept everything Haaland could throw at him out. Max Woba getting a 7.0 and Thomas with a 7.4. Bentancur himself getting an 8.0. So a fantastic 3 points gives us a chance and a realistic shot now at winning this Premier League title. Let's push forward to the Brentford game and see if we can't continue the momentum. After that impressive 3 points against Liverpool in the top of the table cruncher, we move on to a game that might actually be a bit more of a banana skin than it seems. So the team lineup we are going to be putting out against Brentford is Meslier in goal, Firpo, Woba, Konate and Cajuste at right back, Verratti and Phillips in the middle, with Daniel James, Ricky Puig and Karim Adeyemi at right wing, and Sheshko returns to the team after an injury to hopefully score the goals to fire us to the league title. So having to rotate teams here as game every 3 days is a little bit crazy, but most of the first teamers are back, and hopefully we're going to claim 3 points against Brentford. An early chance, it seems, then. 2 minutes on the clock as Firpo throws the ball to Puig. He plays it all the way back to Woba, who plays it back to Firpo. Verratti with the cross in, and there's Adeyemi at the back post. Bernardoni in goal makes the save. 29 minutes then, and the next highlight is coming. Junior Firpo seems to have taken a knock here. Game is telling me to bring him off for Dramer, so we are going to do that. But the ball is out on the right wing with Adeyemi. Kind of beats a man when the tackle comes in. He cuts inside. He's going to have the shot from distance. Not too sure if the goalkeeper gets a touch. He actually doesn't. And it's over for a goal kick. And from that goal kick, Brentford are going to try and build out from the back. We tried the high press here as we have men closing them down quite quickly. Bernardoni makes a mistake. Plays it to Verratti. Plays it to Puig. Back to Verratti. Go all the way back to Woba. And then back to Canate. And back to Woba again. So moving the ball around quite freely. Shame it isn't forwards, but when we do start the build-up play to go forwards, Kajust gets in down the right side, plays it back to Phillips. Kajust again plays it back to Verratti. Verratti with a neat ball to Phillips, who's looking for a cross. It comes from Kajust. The ball's cut back, and Ricky Puig shot wide from about 7 yards. Corner kick then as Adeyemi is going to swing this one in. Finds Woba at the near post, who finds the crossbar, and the ball goes over. And again, we're on the attack here. Daniel James into the box. Adeyemi was the target. Gets cut out, but it's only as far as Woba. Plays it to Drama, to Phillips, to Adeyemi. Ricky Puig with the ball again. It's out to Kajust. Jens Kajust with the shot from distance. Bending all the time. Not enough to dip into the net, though. We are in then at half time, and the score is 0-0. Brentford's goal is living a charmed life as we keep knocking at the door but cannot break it down. We've had enough shots and enough shots on target to do so, so nothing really to change. Junior Firpo did have to come off in the first half, but that's not really going to affect our performance going forwards. We'll give it a while and see if we can't get a goal, and then maybe have to make a change and possibly go into an attacking formation. But for now, we're just going to stick with it, roll with it, and see what happens in the second half. A throw in then for Brentford, and this is where it could get dangerous, as the ball's played into Petkovic with the header, and it goes just wide. 62 minutes on the clock. We have a throw in as Dramer plays it to James, to Phillips. Sheshko with looking for the ball in behind for Sheshko, should I say. Bernardoni, though, is there to collect it. Let's see what Brentford do in terms of playing out from the back. It looks like he's pushing them forwards and then throws it short. They're going to try and build up from the back. And again, our high press is there as we look to put pressure on them. Maybe force them into a mistake, but they're playing quite well here, Brentford, as they are getting out at the moment, but the ball is just being knocked about in their own half. Let's see what happens when they play it forwards. It gets cut out by Daniel James, who finds Sheshko. Defender just kind of stood there and watched him get to the ball. Let's see what he can do with it. He finds Daniel James, he finds Ricky Puig, and the shot is over the bar. So that is going to prompt me into making a change. We are now going to bring on Rafinha, and we're going to swap him sides with Karim Adeyemi. We are also going to bring on Thiago and play him in place of Ricky Puig and see if we can't break through and change the scoreline. A corner kick then here as Phillips swings it in. It's dealt with at the front post by the defender, but it only comes back to Dramer. Cody Dramer, almost with the unlikely hero, bending the shot just over the bar. The Premier League is a crazy, crazy league sometimes. I did mention in the build-up this could be a banana skin. Brentford have come to Ellen Road, they have fought tough and they have got out with a point, and that really is disappointing considering we beat Liverpool in the first game of the episode. We now draw 0-0 with Brentford. We have had enough shots and enough shots on target to have won the game, could not get that breakthrough, and now that could leave the Premier League wide open for all of us. So then, after a 3 points against Liverpool, we had a disappointing draw against Brentford. You can see on the left-hand side of the screen, it leaves us with a 4-point lead at the top of the Premier League from Liverpool. We now have played the same amount of games as them. Manchester United, though, have a game in hand, and if they win, they can go just 2 points behind us as this Premier League title is set to go to the wire. So looking at it, I think we are going to have to show all of the remaining fixtures. So in tomorrow's episode, we're going to be playing against Arsenal and Newcastle, and we are going to bring you that episode before we face off against Aston Villa and Brighton. This could be a bit of a nail biter, and I want to show you every single moment of what is about to happen as we continue our quest to win our first Premier League title. How topsy-turvy can the Premier League be? We put up a great performance against Liverpool to get ourselves 3 points. We then couldn't finish Brentford off as they hung tough to get a 0-0 draw. And it now leaves us in a position with 4 games to go with a 4-point lead at the top of the table. But Manchester United have that game in hand. It's forced my hand also now, as it means I have to show you the last 4 fixtures of the season as we hope to wrap up our first Premier League title of the save. So, if you're at this point of the video, you're still watching, you're still enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to help the channel out. I appreciate everybody who has done that across the journey that I've had on YouTube. But for today's episode, I'm going to wrap it up, and I will see you tomorrow when we face off against Arsenal and Newcastle.